What's up, guys? A very frustrated Tuki here, back again with some more NHL 16 and my New York Islanders GM mode series. And this episode will be very condensed. It will not be live commentary because I'm continuing to have quite a few tech issues with the audio and the visual glitches. Not quite sure what's going on. Obviously hoping to solve that problem as soon as possible because, my God, isn't it annoying to have to consistently go back re-record parts of videos and stuff like that. But anyway, getting into what we do here in this episode. And first up, we do make a couple of roster changes. Here you see the lines we were rolling with at the end of the last episode, and I am very happy, and it was a point I had made when I originally recorded this. I'm very happy with this team and the way it's structured. I think Bridgeport right now is looking very good, and our top 9 in general, I feel, is really solid. Barzal is performing pretty well there on that second line. The top 6 is just good in general. Having Lee on the third line, Cizikas, who is just too good to be put on the fourth line, is there, and of course Shane Prince. But the fourth line, I'm very, very much content with Zach Smith being there, P.A. Parento being there as well, but Brock Nelson, he's too good to be left on that fourth line. Now, I was going to put Nelson on the third line and trade Anders Lee, because Brock Nelson has a third line role, whereas Lee has a second, so Nelson might fit in there a little bit better. But instead we go with Lee, who probably gives us a better chance to win. And that brings me to these trades. And first up, it is Brock Nelson for Antoine Vermette and a 5th round pick from the Coyotes. I think that makes the fourth line just very well-rounded. Having Vermette, Zach Smith, and P.A. Parento, they're kind of a veteran line to really, just keep the lineup going. And in that way, like I said, Brock Nelson isn't on the fourth line where he's not going to get it done. And to, be honest, it's a waste to have somebody like that on the fourth line. So we get Vermette for the rest of the year. I'm not sure if we'll resign him after this, but Antoine Vermette is here. After that, we make a second trade, and it's a minor deal. It's Maxim Alexandrov, who is 7th D potential. We send him to Pittsburgh for 2 4th-round picks in the upcoming draft to mainly clear up a roster spot. Now, Alexandrov could turn into a pretty good defenseman. Originally, this season, he and Noah Carroll were going to be line mates down in Bridgeport before we made the major changes to make sure that the Sound Tigers were contenders this year. And, it's tough because I do think he's a good pick, as I just stammer over all of my words. He was a 3rd-round pick. We trade him away for 2 4ths. So, in the end, I think it worked out because that allows us, and moving on to what we do next, to sign 2 players. We signed Thomas Fleischmann for extra forward depth. He starts down in Bridgeport, however, because we have Daniel Winnick as depth already, and I don't want to risk losing him. And we also signed goalie Troy Timpano, who is fringe starter potential. Both of them, actually I should say, Fleischmann on a 1-year deal, Timpano on a 3-year entry-level deal. And I know we had Troy Timpano in Vancouver, but he's not exactly a slam dunk to be a great goalie. And despite the fact that we already have a ton of solid goalie prospects, I think it's a good signing. I don't think it's exactly unfair. He's been a free agent for over a year, so why not sign him? He will currently be the backup to Adam Werner. So in case of injury to Bishop or Grice and we have to call somebody else, he'll be the backup goalie down in Bridgeport. So as we get into the sim, of course, I already told you what the Islanders' lines were looking like, the top 9 being the same, the only difference being Vermette on the fourth line instead of Brock Nelson. Down in Bridgeport, these were the lines that we went with. It was Thomas Fleischmann with Alan Quine and Joshua Hosang. I can't imagine an AHL team having a better top line than that. Second line is Tyler Soy with Anthony Beauvillier and Landon Ferraro, expecting big things from them for the rest of the season. The third line, unfortunately, Carl Grundstrom was the victim of the Fleischmann signing, but he was still, I think, at a 68, 69 overall. I really love that third line. Jeremiah Addison, Sundstrom, and Bradley. Of course, we acquired Addison and Bradley, I should say, and that's been one hell of a trade for us. So Bridgeport is in a very, very strong place and should be making the playoffs, no doubt about that. But that'll do it for trade deadline. Spent a lot more time on that than I planned on. But again, we only have 20 games left. We are deep in a playoff run right now, battling it out. And this is a back-to-back game. So Ben Bishop will play this game against the New York Rangers. And we get a 5-1 win. Our 39th win on the season. The Rangers not looking like they're going to make the playoffs this year, which is fine by me. And Barzal dropped down to an 84 again, apparently. So who the hell knows what's up with that. But let's see here. I think, it really depends on how long I want this episode to be. We have quite a few back-to-backs, so I am going to sim to April 1st as I usually do, and we will see what happens from there. But odds are we're going to clinch a playoff spot sooner rather than later. The question is, will we still be competing for that division title by the end of this month? 45, 21, and 10, a very strong record. As you can see, too, the Bridgeport Sound Tigers with a very strong record. It wasn't our best month, that is for damn sure. Our biggest problem right now has been Thomas Greiss, who's just really struggled, and we lost Dan Hamhuis to injury again. He'll be back, hopefully in time for the start of the first round. But you can see win, loss, trading off there. We had a pretty good stretch for Ben Bishop through the Arizona through the Dallas game, a 3-0-1 record. Back-to-back overtime losses to Chicago and New York non-playoff teams. So that kind of sucks, but at least we got points. And then a win over the Philadelphia Flyers. We have clinched a playoff spot. And yes, we are still in an absolute dogfight for that division title. Right now, the Caps are a point ahead with a game at hand. We have quite a bit of space on Pittsburgh. It'd be very disappointing to, one way or another, not have home ice advantage in that first round. The overtime losses really helping us there. It's just a matter of whether or not we can win out to overcome the Caps. And we'll know if that can happen. We have 6 games left. The first game here against the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's see, can we get... Oh, fuck. Well, that puts us in a pretty rough spot. Game against Pittsburgh. Oh, come on, boys. That might have just ruined it. That might have just screwed us. Yeah, we're 5 points back now with the Caps. And Pittsburgh's only 3 games behind. Alright, we're kind of shit in the bed here right at the end. That's not good. 4 games left. I think our divisional title hopes have come to an end. We are going to start Greiss against Florida because they're non-divisional. Buffalo, we get a 4-3 win, so that's good. But Jesus Christ, getting outscored 10-3 against Carolina and Pittsburgh was brutal. And there it is. The Caps have sealed the division title. So we spent quite a bit of time in first place this season, but just too many losses down the stretch. We can only finish, what, with a max of 108 points? Yeah, 3 games left, so yeah, we blew that. We absolutely should have won that divisional title this year, and I think any other year we probably would have, but we didn't deserve it. We just shit the bed down the stretch and couldn't get it done. Ben Bishop with a .921 save percentage. Greiss with a .906. It has gone up lately. You have to wonder if the loss of Dan Hamhuis has been a big factor. It's been Chris Butler who's been in, and that, of course, put Calvin DeHaan up on the second pairing, although he hasn't done too bad. Anton Vermette's down to an 81 overall. I am not quite sure why. He's gone from an 83 to an 81. I have no idea why he's dropped, but so be it. I'd rather have him drop than Brock Nelson. But let's see here. Greiss in hopefully his last start. I really hope that we don't need him in the playoffs, and he loses again to the Panthers. So we are going to be stumbling into the playoffs here. My only hope now is that we don't lose home ice advantage against Pittsburgh. That would be a disaster to go from, winning the divisional title or the division title to potentially, and it's a very, very strong, that's a good chance that we're going to blow it. We have 2 games left and a 1-point lead over Pittsburgh. There is a strong chance that we're going to go from potentially winning the divisional title, or the division title. I don't know why I keep saying divisional. I'm just nervous as shit. I don't want to, thank God we beat Pittsburgh or Philly. I don't want to miss out on home ice advantage. That's what I'm trying to say. Let's see here. Fuck, it's going to come down to the last day. We obviously know we're in the playoffs. We obviously know that we're playing Pittsburgh. It's just a matter of who has home ice. And we play the Florida Panthers. We just lost to them 3-2. Have Pittsburgh played their game? Do we know for sure? Pittsburgh hasn't played. All right, so let's do this. We have to win. It is a must-win game. Can we do it? Oh, thank God. All right, so the New York Islanders are in the playoffs, finishing in second place in their division. Adam Pelech is good to go as well, which kind of sucks. I don't know what I want to do there. Although if Hamhuis is injured, we can still play Pelech. But there you have it. It is Pittsburgh in round number 1. Thankfully, we have home ice advantage. And let's see here. We'll definitely put Pelech back in for Chris Butler. So it'd be nice to have him. That'll be a little bit of an improvement. Not much. But, man, what am I doing to these lines? I am just butchering them. There we go. So yeah, that is season 3. Very disappointing finish to this season. But overall, wow, it actually scratches Anton Vermette now instead of Daniel Winnick. I think I'll still keep Vermette in. But overall, not bad. Barzal's down to an 83. What is going on? Hold on a second. How has he gone from an 85 to an 83? That makes absolutely no sense. And there's nothing negative in the morale log. Who the hell knows? This game is a fucking mystery. But that'll do it for Season 3. Of course, in the next episode, we take a look at the Pittsburgh Penguins ahead of our Season 3 Round 1 playoff matchup. There you get a look at the playoff tree. And quickly, too, I will show you the player stats. Normally, I'd do it in the next episode. We'll look really quick at the player stats and take it from there. We'll get this done, hopefully, as quick as possible. Tavares with 75 points. Strome, a good season. Barzal, a really good season. Outscoring Johnny Gaudreau, even if by a point. Johnny Boychuk with 42 points. Not too bad. Anders Lee, Cizikas, and Prince all over 30 points apiece, so that's not too bad either. Overall, not too bad of a season. And again, I am really happy with where the team is right now. Although, obviously, with the way the season ended, I am pretty nervous to see what happens in the playoffs, because really anything could happen. I mean, we're playing a very good Pittsburgh team that we barely beat for that second spot and home ice advantage in the first round. So I genuinely don't know what to expect. John Gibson and Tuukka Rask and Braden Holtby, for that matter, all with very good save percentages. So, yeah, who the hell knows what's going to happen in this next round. But I am looking forward to it. Jamie Benn, Connor McDavid, Ovechkin. Any surprise names up there? Stastny with 72 points, I guess is kind of surprising. Pasta with 70. So yeah, there you go. There's the point totals. We'll quickly look at rookies too. Just to see if we have anybody in the running. And boy, do we. Barzal with 60 points over Goldobin and Patrick Laine, who of course went to Arizona. Freaking Danton Heinen's an 87 overall again. I definitely did make him high elite potential, that's for sure, but maybe there's a glitch with created players. I don't know. Rookie goalies, is there going to be anybody in the running? Probably not. I don't think Subban played enough games. Matt Murray, technically a rookie. So I do think we have a very strong chance to get the Calder Trophy this year. But anyway, this episode has gone on way too long at this point. But as always, I do thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, if you have enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button to help support the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already to make it easier for yourselves to continue following this wonderful series. And in the next episode, it is our round 3 match, or Jesus Christ, our season 3 playoffs. They begin. English. It's difficult, don't you know? We're going for our 3rd straight title is what I was going to say, which still doesn't seem possible. But anyway, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.